Hello, it's me, and today I'll be talking about some of the oldest vehicles in Beam that I can think of. And yeah, it could be pretty interesting. And I've not really done any research on it. Some of it's just going to be guessing based on what I know, and what I found. Not just the oldest vehicles, oldest things in general in Beam. So I'll just talk about like the oldest in terms of what Steam says is the oldest if you go into the vehicle menu. And actually it's quite funny because I'm driving an old full size today. Well, a code name, old full size. And what was I doing? I'm looking for years because that is actually a category. So we just go from 1953 to 1953 should just be the burn. Yeah, it's just the burn side. And apparently the props and stuff and trailers, they don't appear to have years, which I didn't actually know, because I don't really use this that much. But yeah, the oldest vehicle in NG.Drive, excluding the vehicle I'm driving now, which is, to be fair, pretty old. Those years are probably correct. It's the burn side. I'll just talk about that, and actually I'm going to find, like, the second oldest vehicle if I can. Oh, wrong one. I didn't actually know the second oldest vehicle was the Piccolina, but apparently it is. And it's not even just going to be like the oldest in terms of what it looks like. I don't think I guess with this map, which is Conquistador Gorge, probably about how you say it, there's actually a somewhat abandoned looking version, but by default there isn't an abandoned looking version. So, but it's not even the oldest in terms of what it looks like. I will be talking about some of the oldest things generally. So, first up, apart from that, is the image, or if you look at NG.Drive's image, like on Steam, like when you first open it up and you go to your library, if you're on the home bit of the library, it's actually an image that's rather outdated. And I did see the things saying that possibly they updated it and then it changed back at some point. I don't know if that's true, if they're talking about a different image or something. I'll probably have it over the screen for a little bit about how unsurprisingly. Wow, that's a big quite damage. But yeah, this thing is actually technically based on the Derby version as well, which would be very old. So that image, I should probably go up on my screen as well. Like that would be smart if I got it up on my screen. I'll just talk about it. Now it's got some of the older vehicles in the game on it. And I'm just getting it up on my screen. It's also in East Coast USA. And there we go. I'm opening it now. Yeah, it looks like it's probably in the pre-PBR East Coast USA, but it isn't the oldest version. Like, was the version I've got quite a few of my insane crash test dummy ones. It might be in the top right hand corner if you want to have a look. It's in an older version of the East Coast USA. I think 0.4 from 06 or something that one is. And it definitely looks newer than that. So it's a somewhat revamped version of East Coast USA. And at the front there is a bull eye, then to the left is a K series, then a police Grand Marshal. And to the right of the bull eye there's Sunburst, which I will come back to in a second, and a Barstow, like a fancy one I think, yeah, I'm mistaken. In the background there's I think the lifted D series, but actually a different paint level by default. The D series, which is definitely outdated because that was just updated last update. And Roma, which appears to have the camouflage skin, which I didn't actually know existed, so it can't be too old of a picture, since that camouflage skin hasn't been in the game for too long. Oh, okay then. Oh, okay then. Oh well. I have the broken leg over. I'm sure will not help it surviving. This is testing for that to work. I think the damaged steering will also not help, because I do not like driving with damaged steering. But yeah, in the photo you can see, it just doesn't look quite as updated. I think partly because the graphics have been updated a lot since then, they look a lot better. You can really tell it looks like not as good as it's like Steam does now. And it just really looks a lot older than like Steam does now if you play it, or at least it looks a lot different. So the other thing I'm coming on to, while I'm going to, is like the oldest vehicle in terms of when they were added and when they were updated. So the oldest vehicle in terms of when they were added is pretty technically the first vehicle pretty sure was the D series. I may forget a vehicle because we don't currently have the vehicle like, menu up that shows you all the vehicles. We could have open if I'm driving them. It's a bit weird like that. So yeah. When on that, yeah, the oldest vehicle is the D series from the very first advertisement of the game, and then after that, a few vehicles grab it. I think the full size or the Grand Marshal. I'm pretty sure the Covert or the Hat were also added. Actually, I think the Covert might actually be the Covert in the game house. I'm not. Oh, William's having a good day. And then I'm pretty sure the H series was added a bit. I think the Bullide was possibly added just after the H series as well. Potentially. In fact, yeah, the Covert definitely used to be called Hats, but it might actually be called Covert now. So, yeah. And the most recently updated vehicle, if you look at my video, it's probably also in the top right now. It's a T series. If you're looking at the top right, you could like and subscribe and stuff if you want. So yeah, in terms of other vehicles that are pretty old, well, action of this, because I still view the Blue Book to be added quite recently, and it really, really was added recently. But it's one of the vehicles I just imagine is more recent. So what I'm going to talk about now is vehicles I don't think have had a real major update or revamp for a while. Like the 800 series and the I series have had updates or revamps recently. This isn't even talking about props, because obviously some of the trailers got updated recently. And what else got updated? I mean, the shipping container also got updated recently. And at some point, the large spinner got updated, I'm pretty sure, because there was previously only a config with wall, and then at some point they added a config with wall, without a wall, which I'd say is a major update. But some of these, really, I don't think I've had an update other than like a bug fix or something for a long time. But some of these are new props. Like engines are a bit newer after. Even the hay bale, I think, got a circular one and some ones like wrapping around the sides recently. Like I said, now I'm going to go through some of the vehicles and when I think they were last updated, or like when they were last added as newer vehicles. So the Stambecco, Piccolina, Bastion, all fairly new. Ruckel Legrand, I don't think, or Legrand, I don't think has really had an update. Wait, no, it has because it got the wagon, yeah. Moonhawk, don't think it's had a major update at any point that I know. Burnside, maybe it hasn't had a real major update. I don't think it has. That's newer, that's a mod. Blue-eyed, yeah, it got updated because it got a splittable frame. That's new, that's a mod. That got the sedan and an update. That, I know, got an update. I don't know, because it broke one of the mods I was using for a Insane Crash Test Dummy video at the time. It was fixed just after, so I'm happy. K-Series, actually, it has got an update because the default colour used to be red. And I think it was updated at the same time as the engine series, yeah, I remember. That's newer. Barstow also hasn't been updated that recently. And the Barstow is one of, I think it's a Barstow in terms of like, at least when it was added to the game, is actually older than the Moonhawk because it, well, it has definitely had an update at some point because I'm pretty sure the front subframe wasn't splittable when it was first added to the game because I don't think the engine and stuff was quite capable of that then. But it is now. Blue Book, I don't think it really has had an update recently, but in my eyes, it's still fairly new. D-Series, it's probably definitely had updates or something. Yeah, it's definitely had updates at some point because all the like multiple cabs and stuff that you can get definitely didn't used to be in it. Like all the like different bad options and like cabs and even the disappointment, like step side and stuff, are all a bit newer. And I'm also going to somewhat take this as, proper updates, not just bug fixes, because I'd say most vehicles in the game have been updated at least in the past 4 updates, and maybe at max 6 with some sort of bug fix. Or at least like the Covert update, I think they added like all the manual transmissions, I think were animated, or automatic animated transmissions. Uh, so I think all of them, that was definitely not more than 6 updates ago. Grand Marshal has had an update at some point because they made it body on frame. H series actually did have an update because they made it so that you can have the passenger van. Roma, actually, not, no. Well, actually, like I said earlier, they added the camouflage livery to it, so it's a bit older. T series doesn't updated. That's actually one of the swinger version of the Burnside I showed you earlier. I think that's because this map does actually have the config for the hats. This is not being updated, so it's not on the actual Cobra. Orata is very new. The newest actual added vehicle, not updated vehicle, as far as I can remember, even though it's only 2 updates ago. SBR4 is also like really old. I'd say it paralleled almost as old as the Barstow. But I don't think it's definitely had an update at some point because the electric versions I'm pretty sure weren't there originally. Sunburst is, I'm pretty sure, when I was thinking about it, the Sunburst popped into my head as one that really hasn't been updated recently. So, well, actually, they added the off-road at some point. That wasn't there originally. Maybe even the CVTs weren't, but I do know it's old. And I always forget there's a Gendarmerie version. Gendarmerie. And but yeah, people just love the Sunburst. To be fair, I quite like the Sunburst too, even though it's a sedan. It's just quite nice and sporty, but normal still. 200BX. I'd say I hasn't had an update recently. I know I drove it when I did the Covert update video, so it had some sort of update then, but I don't know if that was mostly bug fixes, if it was bug fixes and improvements. Hopper, also don't know, is fairly old, not too old, but don't think most of these I don't know if they've had an update recently. To be fair, Miramar really unloved, and I'm not a massive fan of it. I could do a tier list for Doom at some point, which I probably might actually do. I did do one ages ago, but I don't think I took a screenshot of it, so I'll do another one, obviously on video for this. I don't. The Miramar is also a contender for like oldest without an update. Pessima, I think this Pessima, while it's a year in terms of the game's lore, was actually added before this Pessima. I don't think either really had that big updates. Pigeon is old, but it's definitely been updated because it used to be seafoam green as a default colour. So it always throws me that it's now like verdant green or something. Pigeon is a bit newer. Actually, not that much newer now, but still. That's a mod. That's a Lansdale, which is fairly new. And the Wendo, which is fairly new. And these are all fairly new. And the bus is actually a bit older now. I don't think it's had a really major update since then, but it's still fairly new to me. So that's sort of me just about done. I've not done that much crashing yet, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, that was a pretty good crash. Once you turn my funny lights on, now some sort of funny side mode, when it's flapping around. Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, he's doing this that. And this vehicle really doesn't die for that. It's probably not surprised to learn. It is like rather old, isn't it? So I did convert this version from like the dirty version to the wagon. That's why it has all the glass and stuff. It's not making this turn. It's not making this turn. I can't be bothered driving back here, so I'm just going to be lazy and no grab it. And of course it's going to fall over, because why wouldn't it fall over? In fact, it fell over like earlier doing something similar, so I really shouldn't have been that surprised. But to be fair, this mod is actually quite old thinking about it. And I do actually know, I think, Endless Tunnel, which I have used in, I think, one of my highway crash videos. That was in the old one. I don't think that one's actually out yet, but that was at some point, I think, either the oldest or the second oldest, like, mod in the game. This one is fairly old, but it's still really good. One issue is it's somewhat, like the stick and stuff, somewhat breaks the Agent Y Universal Mini mod, so you don't see it much from me anymore. But still. So yeah, I think that'll be it from me. Goodbye. Bye.